despite the fact that I may seem semi-reasonable at the moment, I'm actually not. I'm not being productive whatsoever, and I'm not really doing much, so I'm feeling pretty low. Let me explain why and break it down for you. So these were the last few videos that I did recording my situation, but to be honest, they were more of a ramble through emotion. So I'm going to try and explain a little bit more clearly, precisely, and easy for you to understand. So the documents for my solicitor need signing and delivering to them rather than by email, which in today's society is absolutely crazy. So what I did, I really wanted to be proactive. I printed them out, signed them, and I got an Uber down, which cost me over £65 just so these documents can get to the solicitor okay, because I live nowhere near my solicitors. The property needed to be insured by the lender, so that was my next job. I got the property insured, and my solicitor rang me straight back and said, these won't do, it has to be insured on an unoccupied basis. Phoned up the insurer to amend this, and they said, we're not going to do it because we will not insure on an unoccupied property. So I cancelled that and then found another insurance policy which did cover for unoccupied properties, and I did that and got that sent off straight away. But again, it wasn't right because I had to extend the policy now for storm and flood damage, which it doesn't have. So I then phoned up the insurance company and said, can you increase it so that obviously I have to pay more, but it covers me for storm and flood damage? And they said, no, we will not cover you for this, we don't do it. Then I cancelled another insurance policy. 12 different insurance companies said that we will not insure you and cover you for this because apparently you're in a high risk area for flooding, even though the property has never been flooded before, not even close. And let me take you back to the first insurance company who would insure it for flooding, but didn't do it for flooding and it being unoccupied. Let's fast forward, God knows how many hours on the phone, I finally found an insurer that will do it for me. However, they are charging me the equivalent, someone being bent over the couch, having their pants ripped down, spanked like a little schoolgirl. Thank you. So the next stage, my solicitor then gives me the bank details and says transfer over the money for my services and to buy this house. My own bank won't let me transfer more than £25,000 per day. They said you're going to have to go down to the branch in person, say hi, this is me, produce ID, and we will then increase your bank transfer limit to facilitate you buying this house. So because I'm not driving at the moment, I don't have a car, I had to ask a friend to do this. They were gracious enough to accommodate, and they took me all the way down to Wilmslow, Halifax. I went in there, told them what I wanted to do, and they said, if you're not transferring today, we can't do it for you. Sorry, you was told wrong. So I walked out of there peed off and then thought, wait a minute, I can actually get a code. So I went back there and I said, listen, I know that you can get a code sent out and it's going to take 5 days. I didn't do that previously because it was going to take 5 days, but now it might be worth having it as a backup. He said, no, we can't do that. You've got to do that by phone. So I got my friend to drive me all the way home and I got straight on the phone to Halifax just for them to tell me I've been misinformed again. I've been told a load of rubbish, and when I went into Halifax, they should have been able to do that for me. What they will be able to do is give me that code, which will take about 5 to 7 days, and I can do everything online and make that transaction happen. An hour and 15 later, 3 calls later, numerous times being on hold later, and every single time being cut off when I got transferred, going through the same whole rigmarole. The line went dead again. I was cut off and then lost the will to live, so I gave up. But on the flip side, at least I got the document signed with the solicitor, and now my house is fully insured. That was until my broker called me and said the lender has now said they will need to have it revalued because it's been over 3 months and we're not going to offer you that same valuation. Despite no one even informing me that it was close to the 3-month expiration period, and the fact that it could have been completed over Christmas but wasn't, and it was only a couple of days overlapsed. Give me a break. So my broker called me back and said that they are now only going to lend on the property with a market value of £165,000. Now, to put this into perspective, the initial valuation that they gave was 275,000. Now they're saying it's 165,000. That's a difference of 110,000 that it's devalued by in 3 months. When all the other properties in the local area and in Macclesfield have continued to increase. Delving a little bit deeper into it, and after the phone call with my broker, I found out that this is quite possibly because there is another valuation that had gone in a month after in November, and this came out at £138,000. In Macclesfield, you can't buy a a fucking toothbrush for 138 grand. And let me do the maths a minute. £137,000 that it's devalued by in less than a month's period of time. Unless a property has been bombed, set alight, something stupid like a meteor has hit it, where do you know in the world that house can devalue by 137,000 in a month's time? In closer inspection again, no one can actually figure out where these valuations come from or who in the hell did the valuation in the first place and why they did the valuation in the first place. Either me, my solicitor, seller's solicitor, the auctioneers, the broker, the lender, nobody has done this valuation. So not only should it not be credited, no one knows why or who put it in the first place, regardless of the fact that it's absolutely farcical. Despite this, the lender still says no, 165,000. I was then told that the problem may lie with Zoopla because a lot of lenders compare house prices on Zoopla. She had a little look into it for me, and there was a house which was sold apparently for 140,000. Turns out this was my house. How can a house be compared against itself? Especially when it wasn't £140,000. That was the guide price auction. It actually went for £189,000, 100. And if that was the case, and it was against that market value, that's all I'm asking for anyway. Go figure. So here's where it gets farcical and I really start getting annoyed. I then had a conversation, not with my broker, but with my broker's manager. She delved deeper into it and she sent me 10 comparables that the lender was basing their valuation off. Out of these 10 comparables, there was only one 4-bedroom house in Macclesfield in the road that I'm after, and their valuation was £300,000. Out of that other list of 10, there is one 3-bedroom house and the rest were 2-bedroom houses. On the assumption that they're obviously not going off the 300, maybe it's an average of all of them and divided by that. So what I did was I added them all up, divided it by 10, and surprise, surprise, still not right because the valuation came out over at £217,000. You follow me? Are you still following me? And just in case you didn't do the maths on that, 217,000 is just under 28,000 difference from my original valuation, not even the 165. Now, it's nearly a week after the date that it was supposed to have completed. The initial date was on the 18th of December, which is nearly a month ago. The options that they have now said I have got, they will lend on 165,000, meaning I will have to find £17,000 of money which I don't have. Or the other options is I lose £10,000, which I had to do because it was an auction property. Or worst case scenario, I lose everything because they say it's breach of contract and they take me to court and they win. Not only will I have to pay this £17,000 extra, which I don't have, I'll then have to go all the way down to the solicitors again to print out, sign, give back to them an amended contract because it's different than the amount that it originally was. In closing, if I am to get this property that I want, it's going to cost me an extra 17k, which I don't have. To buy a house that the majority of insurers out there are saying is uninsurable. My lender doesn't want to lend me because it's a glitch in the matrix and common sense doesn't come into play apparently these days. And there is the fact that if I do get the house, I may not be able to work on it because my back's screwed, which for the record, I need surgery on, but I can't get surgery now because the operation which was going to cost me under £10,000 is now costing me over £20,000. Not like I didn't clarify this before spending £600 on stupid consultations. And if I don't do the work myself, I'm not going to be able to afford contractors to do it, which means I inevitably will lose everything anyway. Needless to say, I'm having a shit week. Do I really want to buy this house?